What's up, my beer loving homies? Today we're going to be trying Brightside. It is a West Coast IPA from Uprise Brewing Company out of Spokane, Washington. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside. Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. We're back to do that once again. There is Jay. There is Andy in the attic. I am Ben. What are we drinking tonight?
Called
Rise
Uprise. Uprise.
All right.
Brewing Company, Brightside. So,
And none too soon either. My can is.
I know, I was going to comment on that. You seem to be like hammering your cans or something. I don't get it, man.
busy with cans.
Yeah. Shake them up a little bit.
Do you have wild temperature variations, or do you drop them pretty heavy, or what's going on?
Well, I think this is one that you sent me.
It is.
Would
Was it
explain
like that when you
temperature
got it?
Variations.
Yes, it was like this when I got it. So, your attempt to make it spew on me has failed, sir.
Oh, well, you know. Ooh. That got ugly.
But I did still pour it very carbonated.
Well, just a little bit, but not too bad.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Brightside, as you said, West Coast IPA, 7.0%. Uses Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops. And right on the can, it says it's light-bodied with notes of fresh citrus and stone fruit. Has a dry, crisp finish. This won bronze at the 2023 Great American Beer Festival. They didn't mention the category, but it's good. I can see one.
Yeah.
That's not it for the beer. Uprise Brewing Company out of Spokane, Washington. It's founded in 2022. They focus on brewing modern, hop-forward styles, such as the West Coast IPAs. Uprise, the term uprise, means to stand up or to come into view. And they want to actively do their part to positively impact the city and community. So there's about 3 founders. 2 of them are brothers, and that they were inspired by a trip to a Colorado Beer Fest. They had worked as bartenders and managers at restaurants, and then they eventually, years later, partnered with an industry veteran in the brewing industry. Also, I thought this was interesting. The brewery has an Airbnb units attached to it.
That's interesting.
Cool. Yeah. It's a neat little brewery there in Spokane from the picks and bids.
Yes, and I'd like to thank our good buddy Mike, who's been on before. He had a recent trip to Spokane in that area and allocated this beer for us, acquired it and brought it back. So it's been over several different states. So
multiple destinations.
To Mike the allocator.
Yes. Thanks, Mike.
Mike be
All
out.
right. With that, Jay, have you had this one?
I have not. I think I have another one in there, but I haven't had this one. So.
All right. Andy, why don't you go first for us?
With pleasure, Ben. This is really good. I can see why it won. it is bright, as it says, bright side. It just opens up a mild dry finish, but it's very floral. Great aroma. And you get that citrus, not so much, not dank as some West Coast, not so resinous, but you get a little bit of a touch of piney, but it is citrus and floral and just very arid and aromatic. I like it. I give it an 8. Really good one. It's
All
those
right.
hops, Citrus, Simcoe. We've seen those with some others, and I think that makes a big difference.
Very
It's a good
common.
combination.
Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Andy. I think it's a really good beer, and I can see why they have it as an award winner as well. It it doesn't. It's not like the traditional West Coast that we're used to, where you get a lot of fir or pine or that dankness. So it's almost a little deceptive from that standpoint. And it's fairly clear too. So it does have that dry finish that you can taste, and definitely the citrus floral, almost even that first sip or two to me, almost tasted grape. I don't know. It was a unique flavor that I wasn't quite used to, but I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. I think it's a great offering and good beer.
Yeah, I think Jay, you mentioned just that first sip or two. There was something just, you know, I couldn't put my finger on necessarily either, and I guess maybe that's a touch of the stone fruit as well. But definitely, yeah. Once got past those first couple sips, it definitely opens up, and it's all floral and citrus. Not the, it's really interesting to me. A lot of these West Coast IPAs that aren't real bitter and aren't real resin and piney, because it's obviously some sort of scale that they can advertise that, but this one just doesn't. It doesn't feel that way to me as a West Coast, because West Coast are my least favorite style, and actually, this one's fine. I don't really have a problem with this. It just tastes more like almost more like a hazy uh, to me, even though it's not hazy, but just from a flavor standpoint. So, um, all in all, I think it's a good beer. Definitely would drink it again if I could get it. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, just because it is an IPA.
It's interesting how they changed their labels through the years, because I was like, wait a sec, where did I get West Coast from? If I was looking at it on the screen, it says India Pale Ale on yours. Then I had to look it back in my can. I was like, oh, it says it on our cans.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like maybe I said that and put that in your heads, but no, it's on the can. So
yeah.
like I
That would
got that from somewhere.
have really messed up my West Side in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
If it was in
That would have really messed that up.
Yeah, I would have. Like I'm
You would
glad we
have looked
averted that.
stupid. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
would have looked completely stupid had that not been true.
Yeah, I've never looked stupid on this show before, so I want to continue that trend. That is going to be 7.8 for the Bright Side West Coast IPA from Uprise Brewing Company out of Spokane, Washington. Definitely one that is probably a bronze winner for the three of us. I think, if we gave out bronzes, that that probably fit. I think so. You don't really print anything up and send it out for that, but whatever. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers, that notification bell. We would definitely appreciate that feedback. Check out all our links down below. Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server, Patreon, Hopped Up Beer Review merch. We got it all right down below in the description. So check all that out there. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. West Side, and cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
It's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me.